Hello, hello. Welcome back to Yoga with Paige. If you are currently experiencing any digestion or maybe reproduction issues, then this is the right spot for you. My belly is hurting me a little bit right now, so I thought we would take a little straddle flow, wide seated straddle. We'll basically be kind of staying in the same spot, just taking a few movements to open up through the hips, release some of that stress, some of that tension. And as we are in straddle pose for most of this short flow, we connect to the pelvis, to the hips, the sacral and root chakra, and it does help to move everything around. So this is perfect for basically any time. So whenever you're ready, if you don't have super open hips at the moment, I would recommend grab a yoga strap and we can start. All right, so we begin today in bound angle pose. Just letting the belly hang out here. So putting the soles of the feet together, trying to press the feet together. We're just going to enter into our practice here, finding just a few breaths, rooting down through the sit bones, connecting to the lower body. Take one big deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the nose. And then we can stay in our static bound angle, or we can take little butterfly pulses, butterfly wings. I like to do this in the beginning of some of my hip opening practices because I feel like it gets the energy moving. It's a little bit fun, I think, too, just in my personal opinion. And whether you have your hands on your feet or you're using your yoga strap, you can gently pull the chest forward as we start to open. You can feel our inner groins beginning to release. Maybe we find kind of little sways, little movements here, helping to warm up our groins, preparing for straddle. Beautiful. And then we can flex the feet. So again, whether you have the hands or the yoga strap, try to reach for the soles or wrap the strap around and use that to pull your chest open. So the feet are kind of flexed, the heels are together, toes point out, and we just reach forward. So trying to send the knees down into the mat using your breath. You don't need to push anything here, just a gentle little forward fold. Just trying to deepen. 2 more breaths. And then lift the chest up, gently release the feet. Take this left foot in towards the hips and extend the right leg to the side. Flexing this foot, squaring the hips. And then we can come down onto the forearms or maybe just to the fingertips or the hands. Just finding a nice little rest here. Trying to keep the chest open and lifted. Nice and active in the quads will help you get a deeper stretch through the back of the leg. It's that antagonist, protagonist muscle relationship. Taking one last breath here. Before gently raising back up and switching your legs, extending the left and gently finding what feels good to you, releasing wherever you are, no judgment. See, this side's a little bit tighter for me. I can't seem to get down, which is totally okay. But I do feel things moving around already, which is great. That's what we want. Letting the breath help you deepen. And we'll find one last round of breath here before we head into our straddle. Gently lifting up on the inhale and extending the other leg. Making sure to not take your legs as far as you can possibly go. Keep a nice little space in here, but we're going to be moving side to side. So make sure you have enough range of motion. We can always change our legs to make us feel more comfortable. So first, we're just going to arrive in straddle pose. Feeling the sit bones there. Low to the earth, feeling grounded. Reaching up through the crown of the head, finding beautiful length in the spine, helping to decompress. Finding about 2 more rounds of breath, just being. Staying nice and active in these legs. Squeeze through the muscles. Rotate the knees externally back. Sit up nice and tall. Big inhale. And exhale, reach this right hand towards the foot as the left comes overhead as we gaze up by the hand. Little side stretch. Letting your right arm just kind of fall where it naturally goes. Reaching that hand over the head. Finding so much length in the side body. Continuing to breathe. And on your next exhale, we're going to take a little slight twist. So reach over towards that right foot. Square, not square the hips, but turn towards the right foot and just gently melt down. Only going as far as feels good. Your body will tell you when and where to stop. We can reach for the foot. Beautiful. Like I said, if you need to take the legs in at any point, please do so. Opening up through the lower back. And on your next breath, gently raising back up. This is an optional little hip lift. So otherwise we can just stay in straddle for a moment. We won't be doing this for long. But if you'd like to lift the hips up, take the hands behind the bum, fingers point towards the hips. And on your next exhale, squeeze and lift. So press through the heels and the hands. Use your breath, squeeze everything up. Hold here, getting a nice glute activation. We like to add some strength in. One more breath. And exhale, gently release the legs. Coming back into straddle and taking our side stretch on the other side. Reaching the right arm overhead, spiraling the chest up towards the sky. If you're outside, I hope you're outside. It'd be lovely. It's a very rainy day here. Otherwise, I'd be outside too. Taking the shoulders a little bit away from the ears. We don't want to hike that shoulder up. We want to create as much space as we can. And exhale. We can gently let that hand fall. And then turn towards the left foot. Take a gaze at your beautiful little toes. And then gently fold over that left leg. On this next exhale, maybe you go a little bit deeper, just maybe. Listen to your body. And gently raise the chest, come back through center. You're going to take the hands in front of the chest, like interlace the fingers. Pretend like you have a big wooden spoon in your hands. And we're going to take, I think this is called mill turning pose. So just take your spoon and round it out. So we can make this bigger with the hips and rotate from the hips and just kind of use the hands as stability. Or we can make this really fun and add in the arm movements as well. It's okay if you feel funny. I feel a little funny too, but we're here together. Take it around. And this can be quite intense, so move slowly if you have any pain or if you are pretty tight today, unless you want to ramp up the energy. But making sure, first and foremost, that we keep our solid foundation by squeezing, flexing the feet. And then we can reverse. Turn that butter. Ooh. The hips are probably opening now. Beautiful. Yeah. About 2 more breaths here. This one's pretty fun, actually. And whenever you're ready, you can gently release. Maybe you need to kind of shake out the legs a little bit here, get some energy. We're just going to tilt the head back to open the throat so we can take the fingertips to the mat and just gently let the head fall back a little bit, just opening up through the front of the throat. Being careful to not go too far, and if this makes you dizzy, please take your head back to neutral spine. And don't worry, we're almost coming out of our straddle pose. And coming back to center, we're going to take the legs in a little bit. So wherever you were, kind of slide them in a few inches either way. Reposition yourself. We're going to take a little twisting flow. So send the arms out, shoulder height. Take this right hand and try to twist and reach for the left toes. And if you can't reach, totally fine. Just go as far as you can. Maybe this is where you go. Maybe you want to tap the calf, the shin. Exhale to twist. Inhale to lift back up. Taking about 4 or 5 rounds. So 4 or 5 taps on each side. We're going to take one more round. And then we're going to hold a little twist. So meeting back in neutral spine, reaching the right hand towards the left foot. And again, we can use the strap. If we can reach the toes, maybe we want to reach on the opposite side to kind of help yourself lift up. Whatever feels good to you, play around with some different hand placements. The left hand kind of reaches behind and we just take a little twist. Letting your gaze go where it naturally falls. Just wringing out through the spine. Maybe getting some cracks in there. And then exhale back to center. Taking the left hand to the right leg. Find your twist. Keeping a nice long spine. Breathing nice and easy. Taking your last breath. Make it a big, full belly breath. And return back. We can take an optional little challenge here. Lift the knees, bend the feet, or bend the knees. We can take tortoise pose if we would like. Otherwise, we can hang out in an easy seat or anything else that feels good. This is going to be our last little straddle part. So if we want to try tortoise, we reach both arms underneath the legs and we just slowly fold forward. So the full expression of this pose is, I think, straight legs, which I am definitely not there, but that's okay. You're not going to get there if you don't practice. So this is a very intense groin stretch. And just use your breath. You just see where you're at in this pose. You can use this as a little checkpoint when you try it again at another time. And your last breath here. Raising back up, gently slide one arm out and then the other. And then press up, bending the legs even more, moving carefully. They might have gotten a little stiff. So we're going to shake them out with some windshield wipers. So plant the feet and just let the knees drop to one side. Oh yeah. Beautiful. The other side. Moving slowly. Oop, my hair fell out. Oh, yes, releasing any tension that we feel left in the hips. Beautiful. And this is going to be our last move in this practice today. So check in with yourself at this moment. See if there's anything you feel like you're missing. And I invite you to take that now if something came to mind. Otherwise, we can end this practice today in easy seat, finding a last little breath together. And I thank you so much for sharing your time with me on the mat. And I hope this was a little healing for you, for whatever you needed, emotionally, physically, until we meet again on the mat. And if you did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Leave any thoughts below. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already. It really helps me out and allows me to continue sharing these classes and yoga with you. So thank you for being here, and I will catch you on the flip side.